Today, I want to talk to you about the one plate rule. It's the simple habit for effortless healthy eating. And why would I suggest such a rule? Well, imagine this. Okay, you're at a buffet holding a large plate. You naturally start filling it up, adding just a little bit at a time, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, until your plate looks full. Now, what if you had a smaller plate? Studies show that you'd be likely to take less food without even thinking about it. So let's dive into why this is, how this means, and what it means. I'm losing my mind. But by the way, we're also going to talk about what you should be putting on that plate and how you should be dividing to make sure that that plate is well balanced. Not only portion control, but also some of the other rules to make sure that you're getting pretty much every nutrient that you need. So by the way, my name is Dr. Lori Marvis. I'm a board certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who is licensed in all 50 states. And I've been seeing plant-based patients now for almost 13 years, along with my own journey of being plant-based for 13 years, but a doc for well over 20. So let's dive right in today. So first of all, research has found that larger plates lead to larger portions and increased calorie intake. So while smaller plates naturally reduce how much we eat without feeling deprived. Now this is because our brains use visual cues to determine satisfaction. So when a plate looks full, we assume it's enough food. Now that's where the one plate rule comes in. So instead of tracking calories or maybe restricting certain food groups, this habit-based approach simplifies plant-based eating by using your plate as a natural guide for balance, nutrition, and portion control without effort. So what is the one plate rule? It's super simple. So every meal should fit on one standard size plate. That's around 9 to 10 inches. No second servings, no side bowls, no extra snacks in between, just one wholesome, satisfying plant-based plate. And that provides you all the nourishment your body needs. So why does this rule work? One, it prevents overeating. Your brain registers a plate as full enough, reducing the urge to overeat. Two, it encourages nutritional balance, forces variety, and ensures meals are well-rounded. Three, it eliminates decision fatigue. No calorie counting, just a simple visual rule to follow. And four, it strengthens mindful eating, encourages slower, more intentional meals. So how do you structure your plate for that whole plant-based deliciousness? Well, there's going to be 4 things I want you to focus on. One is half of your plate put non-starchy vegetables. Now these are fiber-rich, nutrient-dense foods that will fill you up with volume and not the excess calories. So think about dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, and Swiss chard. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. Colorful vegetables like bell peppers, mushrooms, carrots, tomatoes, and cucumbers. Here's a tip. Steaming, roasting without oil, or eating raw keeps the nutrients more intact. One other thing to be thinking about is while we're compiling this on your plate is try to get throughout the day different colors of the rainbow. So you're not only getting different food groups, but also the different colors. So now we're going to be able to really get a wide variety of minerals and vitamins and phytochemicals, all those amazing food, those wonderful elements that come from plants that will nourish your body. Okay, now on the other quarter of your plate, we're going to put a plant-based protein. Now, protein will help sustain energy and your muscle health while keeping you full. So you can choose from number 1, lentils, black beans, chickpeas, or maybe some white beans. You could do tofu or tempeh. You could bake it, grill it, air fry it. You could throw in some edamame, maybe some quinoa. You may sprinkle on some hemp, chia, or flax seeds for some extra protein boost. On the other quarter of the plate, you're going to put whole grains or starchy vegetables. Now, these provide those slow burning energy, right? Really to keep you satisfied. So some great choices include brown rice, quinoa, again, farro, millet, sweet potatoes, yams, butternut squash, whole grain corn, amaranth, sprouted grain bread, those type of things. And then 4 is some healthy fat, right? So fats are essential for nutrient absorption and for your brain health, but they should come from whole foods, not extracted oils. So we're going to opt for avocado slices, nuts like walnuts, almonds, cashews, seeds like chia, flax, pumpkin, sesame, or some nut butters that don't have added oils or sugars. So how do you apply the one plate rule in everyday life? So at home, serve your food on one plate only. No extra bowls or grains, no side plates of fruit, just one balanced plate. Now, your fruit can be on there somewhere. Maybe you add it to the non-starchy vegetables, maybe it's a salad with some fruit. That can absolutely be fine. That's just one well-balanced plate. And then at restaurants, ask for a single plate meal and avoid oversized portions by sharing or taking leftovers. One other thing you could do is when you're at restaurants, if you know they give big portions, is say, can you give me just half of this to eat now, and the other half, can you go ahead and pack it so I can bring it home? So now you're actually getting 2 meals for one, and you're less inclined to overeat. Now for snacks, instead of grazing all day, plate your snack, like some fruit, nuts, or hummus with vegetables, to keep the portion control in check. So maybe you have your one plate for your meals and one plate for your snacks. And then this makes it really simple, because yes, you will lose weight just switching to a plant-based diet, but I've seen so many of my patients, it keeps me in business, who are still struggling to lose weight on a plant-based diet for a variety of reasons. But it's typically not because they're following a strictly whole food plant-based diet, but sometimes they maybe eating some of the more ultra processed plant foods, and that tends to be where we fall into trouble. But again, it will depend on the person. But why this is very important, this becomes second nature. So the one plate rule isn't a diet, right? It's kind of a habit-based framework that makes eating effortless, balanced, and satisfying. It removes the stress from measuring portions or tracking your calories, allowing you to focus on the wholesome plant-based meals that nourish and energize. So next time you sit down to eat, building your perfect one plate meal and see how easy healthy and eating can be. So tell me down below, what would your ideal plate look like? What would you like to see? If you had one plate, what would you be putting on it? And if you'd like to learn more information about the plant-based diet, what nutrients you should be looking for, labs, if any, supplements, we have the Plant-Based 101 that Brittany Giroudi and I wrote together. It is literally a manual. It's not meant to be like, the in-depth 600 pages, and it's not a cookbook, but there are recipes, but it's not all just recipes. This is really talking about taking my experience as a physician and, Brittany's own journey of losing 70 pounds on her own and cooking, and just really appreciating what all the questions are that someone who's on a plant-based diet, who's just starting, or maybe has already been on one for a long time, looking at as one resource. If you have a question, literally we've pretty much covered it. You will jump in here and you will say, well, what about nutritional deficiencies? What should I be looking for? We have a whole section on that. What about with kids? What about eating out? What about traveling? What is a plant-based diet? How do you deal with people making, snide remarks? How do you deal with myths and different things? What about the anti-nutrients I've been hearing about? All addressed right here. Literally super easy. You can get it on Amazon. Just, Google Plant-Based 101. It'll should pop up with my name, Marbus, or just click the link below. But that is literally a compilation of the last 13 years of my own experience. And again, Brittany, sharing her own experience, compiled in one book, plus 7 days to get you started on my own recipes. And then Brittany gave you some additional delicious recipes as well. So hope you found this helpful. Would love to hear more. Don't forget to subscribe below and share this if you think this might be helpful for someone. Really appreciate you guys being here as always. Sending gratitude, joy, love, and healing your way, because we all know we need more of that in this world. Have a great day, everybody.